It's NBC 26 at 10. The story of a Minnesota woman's missing son made national headlines. Now she's giving others hope. Plus, 4 injured after a car crashes into multiple homes in Green Bay. And a nurse from Northeast Wisconsin is part of nearly 24 from across the nation helping with hurricane recovery. The 4th annual Missing Persons Awareness event took place today at Fox Valley Technical College in Appleton. And the mother of a former high-profile missing persons case was there as a keynote speaker. NBC 26's Emily Byer shares more about its importance in the community.
The goal for the event was to keep the conversation and hope for answers alive.
More than 200 photos of children and adults missing were the backdrop.
All of these families are experiencing a piece of that, so there's many ways that you just hold these missing people in your hearts and keep going until we find them.
2 women shared their stories. This was the first time Patty Wetterling spoke at the event. Her son Jacob was just 11 years old when he was abducted from a small city in Minnesota back in 1989.
They went to the store, they got a video and some candy, and on the way back they were a half a mile from our house.
His remains missing until September of 2016 when Danny Henrik, who was a person of interest in the kidnapping, had told police where Jacob's remains were. Only until then could Jacob finally come home.
When my son was missing, we searched for 27 years and we totally relied upon people coming forward and helping get flyers out and doing fundraising so we could continue to support law enforcement.
Her journey for answers brings comfort to others, including Marcia Loritz. She's been looking for her mother, Victoria Prokopovits, from Pittsfield for the past 5 years.
To have like Patty here telling her story, that brings all of us hope that our answer could come even though it took many years.
The event focused on keeping missing cases alive, but it could also bring to light changes in laws to help prevent cases like Jacob's from happening again. In 1994, Congress passed a law named after Jacob that required states to establish sex offender registries. Emily Byer, NBC 26.
And on to more local news. Police say a car hit multiple homes in Green Bay tonight. They say it happened around 4 in the afternoon on the 1200 block of 9th Street. And officials say the driver lost control crossing Ridge Road east on 9th Street. The car went over to 6 to 7 front yards. Fire officials say they had to handle a broken gas line as well when a house was shifted off its foundation. Speeding also has been a problem in this area.
This road has been known for people driving too fast and hitting a bump on 12th, which caused it to lose control and hit the snow, hit a tree, and ended up against a house.
And there were 3 passengers in the car. All 4 people were taken to the hospital. And crews in Kewanee are investigating what caused a large house fire after 11 last night. They say when they got there, the house was filled with heavy flames and smoke. Fire officials say everyone did make it out safely and no one was injured. They say the weather was a challenge, but they got help from other departments.
We have a good relationship with our neighboring departments, and we kind of rotate guys through to get them armed and get back for rehab, and kind of works out well.
And several agencies responded. Crews were on the scene into early Saturday morning. And more than 24 nurses from across the country are headed to the U.S. Virgin Islands for hurricane recovery efforts, and one is from right here in Northeast Wisconsin. Libby Gabriel is from Antigo, and she flew out of Green Bay's Austin Straubel Airport this afternoon. She and other nurses are helping victims of Hurricane Maria as volunteers. They'll be doing health screenings and checking safety for schools.
This is something I've always wanted to do. I wanted to be part of something bigger as a nurse. And when this opportunity came along, I knew it was my calling to go and do and be a part of and help these kids that deserve health care.
And Gabriel will be going to St. Thomas. Well, the sun is shining, but it's another cold one. Let's check in with meteorologist Gino Recchia. Gino.
Temperatures today, they were what we should be seeing for the end of February. Highs in the upper 20s and lower 30s. You probably are thinking, are we really in April? We are, and you can tell by what we should be seeing this time of year. 50 degrees, 20 degrees below the normal. Record high, 81. I think many of us perhaps are liking to have a little bit of some warm weather in that forecast. Sadly, though, we will be cooling off into the teens overnight tonight. We're expecting overnight lows in the single digits. I'll let you know if we have any warm up in that forecast.
Gino, thank you. And starting today, Winnebago County's outdoor warning sirens will be tested every Saturday at noon and will continue through September of 2018. The test will be canceled if severe weather or other serious conditions are imminent. One person has died and 4 firefighters are hurt after a fire broke out at Trump Tower in New York City. Officials say it just happened before 6 tonight. Video shows smoke and flames pouring out of those windows. President Trump tweeted that the fire was contained and the building was well built. Investigators say the fire took about 200 firefighters to get it under control.
Quite a large apartment. Units made their way up to the 50th floor. The apartment was virtually entirely on fire. They pushed in heroically. They were knocking down the fire. They found one occupant of the apartment on the 50th floor. He is in critical condition.
And the Secret Service did a sweep of the president's apartment in the tower, but it's not clear yet if there was any damage there. The cause still under investigation. Funeral plans are set for the local teens swept away in a riptide in Fort Morgan, Alabama last week. A memorial service will be held for 17-year-old Jevin Lemke on Monday night at 7 at Zion Evangelical Lutheran Church in the village of Wayside. And more than 100 people will soon lose their jobs at the Yonkers at Bay Park Square Mall in Ashwaubenon. It's going to close in the next few months. The company notified more than 100 employees locally and more than 2,000 others in southern Wisconsin of several stores that are closing soon. And looking ahead, Vice President Mike Pence returning to the Badger State in just a few weeks. Pence will be hosting a fundraiser on April 25th for Governor Walker, who's up for re-election in November. This will be Pence's first trip back to the Badger State since September. And also a green light for Wisconsin's first legal hemp store. It opens on April 20th in Black River Falls. Priceland Hemp Company will sell food items, vapes, and creams, and all made from the oil from the plants. The state announced that in March that it would start accepting applications for farmers to grow industrial hemp. What's still ahead on NBC 26 at 10, an educational fundraiser for local children was held right here in Green Bay this morning. Well, that story and much more after the break. But first, what's the weather going to look like for the rest of the work week? Your forecast up next.
And now, your NBC 26 Storm Shield forecast with meteorologist Gino Recchia.
The sun was shining this afternoon, and that was at least one good thing for today, but temperatures, they were chilly, and right now we're at 23 degrees outside with winds out of the west at 10 miles per hour, and that is making the wind chill factor feel like 12 degrees. Now, for the next couple of days, we will remain below average. We're going to have a gradual moderating trend as we get towards the middle of the work week. By Thursday, perhaps above average. And then, of course, we go back below average as we get towards the end of the work week and into the weekend. Current temperatures across the entire viewing area. We're at 18 degrees in Antigo at the moment. We're at 22 in Mountain, 26 in Sheboygan, and 23 in Appleton. Now, temperatures with the wind chills, or I should say with the winds coming in out of the west at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. That's making wind chill values down into the teens. It is feeling pretty chilly this evening. 14 in Manitowoc, 12 in Appleton, feeling like 10 up towards Antigo, and Ephraim feeling like 15 degrees, 12 degrees in Sturgeon Bay. It feels like we're almost in January when we should be seeing more spring-like temperatures. Clear skies overhead right now. There are some lake effect snow showers along the east side of Lake Michigan with that cool air moving over to the relatively warm waters of Lake Michigan. But the high pressure is overhead. That's keeping us high and dry for the time being. This high pressure will drift off to the east. Then our winds will start to change out of the south and southeast tomorrow. And also, we're watching another storm system that'll be moving close to us, but it looks like it'll dodge us just to the south. Here are the winter weather advisories from Montana all the way down towards northern Iowa. Here's how the storm pans out. As it continues to drift to the east, as it moves eastward, it's going to start to weaken. And then there's Green Bay right there. So what's going to happen is as it gets closer towards our area, we'll just have some residual flurries, maybe some rain and snow showers up towards the north, moving down southward with that cold air that wraps behind this system. But for the most part, by Tuesday, it looks like we should start to clear our skies out, and then it should be a pretty dry day on Tuesday. Now, for the meantime, in the forecast, The record coldest temperature ever recorded in April was back on the 3rd, 1954. That was 7 degrees. Guess what I'm going with our overnight low forecast? 8. That is 1 degree above our record, and there is still that possibility that maybe we could tie it, because we got 2 things going for us. Clear skies and calm winds, perfect conditions for radiational cooling. For tomorrow, we'll get up just a degree above that freezing mark. East and southeast winds 3 to 7 miles per hour. We're going to start off sunny, but then it looks like by the afternoon, skies will start to increase with cloud cover. Now on Monday, that rain snow mix by the afternoon hours. Tuesday looks dry. Wednesday comes our next system, some couple rain showers that'll pass through the area. Then on Thursday, another dry day before our next system comes through here. Starting off maybe a rain snow mix on Friday before more warm air pushes through and changes our precipitation over to straight old rain with high temperatures near 50. So getting a little bit warmer, and looking at kind of the long trend, it looks like we'll still stay below average, but at least temperatures will start to be more in those 40s.
Got a little mixture of everything. Got snow, rain,
oh yeah, the
sun,
whole shebang.
Everything. All right, thank you so much, Gino. We'll still ahead on NBC 26 at 10. It's an educational fundraiser for local children that was held right here in Green Bay. We'll have that and much more after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back. The big event for little kids took place today at Shopko Hall. It's a day filled with educational, fun-filled activities that benefits local kids. The event is hosted by Encompass, which works with hundreds of volunteers from about 40 local businesses and organizations to make the day a success. Now, this event started about 30 years ago by Carol Bush, all with a simple goal.
She decided, I want to create an event that is big for the kids, where the kids can come in and they can help the community and they can be a part of something fun that does something good for the kids around them.
And Encompass has raised more than $1.5 million to help children in our community. An imported statue from overseas is causing double takes for many in one Wisconsin city. Take a look at this. The statue is called Hatched Baby and was imported from Germany. It's sitting in front of the City Hall in La Crosse, standing 9 feet tall. The piece is a part of a series created by artist Wolfgang Auer. Now, some are calling the sculpture interesting, while others say it's a bit creepy. As of now, there is no estimated time of how long that statue is going to stay there. Well, still ahead, coming up in sports, the Brewers look to keep momentum against the Cubs, and the Timber Rattlers play their home opener on a chilly day in Appleton. That's coming up in sports.